Welcome to Looking for the Truth. One thing I do want to say before I start this segment is these are not facts, these are just opinions. The reason why I call it Looking for the Truth is because I'm hoping people agree or disagree with me and state their facts in the comments. And if you guys like, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. But these are all things of my belief. And if you want facts, I suggest don't listen to the guy on YouTube. Go do the research on yourself and figure it out. But today I want to talk about Donald Trump visiting devastation areas like North Carolina and Los Angeles. And I feel that there was a big difference on both areas. And, it was a good move. Don't get me wrong, it was a great move, and I think he did a good move going over there and visiting and all that. I just felt like he was more sympathetic to the North Carolina people than he was to the Los Angeles people. Maybe it's because he didn't win that state, and maybe because, And I think he needs to learn how to put his pride to the side and start doing what his job is and to protect the people that he works for. Because even if they didn't vote for him, he's still their president. He's still my president. I did not vote for either because it was kind of shit show for me. Like other people, like my brother, it benefited him. And that's the whole point of this type of American the whole point of politics and here in this United States, that we are a democratic country, and I believe we should vote for what benefits individual and also what benefits for the country. So you kind of find a balance between each other. So if you voted for Trump and it benefited you, and then that's what you had to do. You have to take care of your family and everything. Everyone lives in different types of situations in life. Not everyone lives the same path. So I do understand, and I'm not trying to create any shade or hate or whatever they say on that part. But one thing I do want to say is when it comes to devastation, like, you got to play equal ground, man. You can't be pointing fingers and bitching and all that and calling people like this or that and whatever, especially when there's half of the shit you don't even know what you're talking about. Now, he stated something that people are just standing there looking at the lots and so forth or whatever, right? And he wants people tomorrow by noon to go and start clearing the lots out. See, this is what the thing. Why don't you go over there, grab a shovel, and start shoveling all that fucking crap yourself too? Or send people that know what they're doing to start shoveling the crap, instead of trying to point fingers left and right and saying, oh, you guys should be able, in 3 days, if you guys go over there and start doing it yourself, you'll have it done in 3 days. Like, dude, do you realize how many chemicals are out there? Like, there's a reason why firemen wear respirators. So that, now the waiting part is, I think they say 18 months or whatever. That's or 180 days. I don't quite recall. I was kind of like just looking at it a little bit, reading and listening to him, but it's kind of hard to listen to the bullshit. You know what I mean? And it comes from both sides. I'm not saying, and this is another thing too. I hope to God that he actually goes with a fine cone, or someone, because I'm not going to say him, because I'm sure he's not going to do it. But he hires someone or gets someone to go through a fine cone, and I want every goddamn dollar accounted for, because there's going to be a lot of fuckery going around here. It's going to be a lot of money they're going to throw at California, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to put that shit in their pockets. And I'm talking Democrats too. So shit's got to fucking be correct. And yes, that's going to take time, and that's, people have to live. And like he said, a lot of people are going to end up leaving. I do agree with him that. In maybe the safest, I think they said in 1 week, that's when all the simmering, all the smoke, all the chemicals will kind of get, shift away. And then another thing too. So if you do go there tomorrow and if there's asbestos or anything, these people are going to risk themselves. Now, the only people really going to go out there and do shit like that are people that don't have money to hire someone else to do it. From middle class and down. The people that are rich They're going to hire A, Joe, C, or whatever the hell they want to hire to do the fucking work. They're not going to go out there and shovel themselves. That's another point, you know. Another thing, too, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but the majority of people that know how to build houses and fix shit, you're trying to deport. And I'm not, and that doesn't mean that not that, you know, people. There's a lot of people that are citizens and they know that shit. They know how to fix stuff and clean. I'm a carpenter myself, you know, but I don't know if you paid attention to these generations, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but they live in the world of trying to get the right word, so I don't want to offend nobody, but I'm just gonna say it raw. They're fucking lazy. They want the least effort for the biggest gain. This is the problem right here. When I was a kid, you bust your ass if you wanted to achieve that American dream, working 40 to 60 hours. That's what my dad taught me. You know, don't get me wrong, my dad was not perfect. He's still alive. He's still an alcoholic. And I'll be honest with you guys. My dad smashes a 30-pack of beer a day, and he's been doing it since I was in diapers. And this man never missed a day of work. And if there was overtime, he was on that bitch. And he didn't start drinking until he got home. And he just did, it was like a marathon of beer fest. He'll literally drink a 30-pack in like 3-4 hours, pass out on the couch, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, cook himself breakfast, do himself his little fucking milkshake for his hangover, drink like a gallon of water, go to the bathroom, probably fucking puke, shit, piss, whatever he had to do, smoke a fucking half a pack of squares, and be out of the house by 4:30 to go to work to start at 6. And then come back home by 5. And sometimes he would stay overtime and come home by 7. And then once again, the marathon started all over. And it wasn't 5 days, it was 6 days a week. And everything he did was because he knew he had to bust his ass, because he knew he had to create something. And that's the problem. Today, a lot of these people, they just want shit handed to them. It's sad. And to be honest, some of these guys can't even build a fucking birdhouse. And you expect them to build a whole fucking house. And as a carpenter, I've seen a lot of DIYs and a lot of hacks. And if you're gonna have these guys building from the ground up, they have no clue, dude, everything's just gonna fall apart. Houses are gonna fall on people. You're just gonna put them in more danger. I'm just gonna be honest. And the people that do know how to do this, yeah, they're gonna go out there and fix their own houses, but it's not everybody. I'm sorry to tell you, you know, like, they gotta go about 3 to 4 feet and dig under those foundations. And I don't know, you can't do that shit without a shovel. You can't do that shit with a shovel. Actually, you're gonna need an operator. You're gonna need a bulldozer. You're gonna need a fucking backhoe digger. Everything. This is. Now, I understand that people do need to do shit on their own. I 100% agree with that. But there is a set of skills that people should have before they try to tackle something of that nature. Now, all the insurance pulled out. They need to make a mandate. Because look, insurance, they take your money, right? And what they sell you is to ensure that what you got insured is going to be there. And if it's not, at least you're not going to lose the value of it, right? And if nothing happens, they keep the money and pocket it. But guess what? I don't know if you guys notice, at least in some parts, your insurance is going to go up. Because they're going to have to pay that money that they did, or whatever, if they are going to go pay people for fixing their houses. The whole country's going to end up paying. And I feel like that's not fair. I feel like they took the risk and they should honor what the risk was taken. Now, if shit goes up, like if I go and file a claim, my insurance should go up. But if I didn't do anything, why is my insurance going to go up for my house? Now, I understand that they're going to say, well, it's because they wasted so much money in California and they need to placed that money so they can help people. Well, you shouldn't have put yourself in the situation, right? It's a risk and reward. You took a high risk, you got fucked, pay out. If I go to the casino and I gamble, and then I'm like, no, I'm just going to walk out. It didn't pay out for me this time. No, that's not how this shit works. So, Donald Trump, you need to get on and do one of those executive orders and put these insurance companies on blast. If they're not insuring all the states, if they're on one state, they can stay on one state, right? But if they're more than one state, 2, 3 states or whatever, they have to insure California and Florida. This is going to be a problem. So that's got to get tackled first of all. So let me get back into subject, because I was talking about the insurance thing. It's just, I feel if they took the gamble, they should take the risk, right? If not, they should accept the risk. And if they have to go bankrupt, well, let them go belly flop. I mean, my business belly flops, no one's going to come and cash me out, right? Why should it be any different for them? If they don't like it, get a new business. That's just my 2 cents. But coming back to the devastation and everything like that. So I want to see people, and this is not just LA, this is also for North Carolina. I want to see people come together. Stop all this division shit that's been going on, divide and conquer. That's what they've been doing to us, looking at us like fools. Telling us, oh no, you're a Republican, oh no, you're a Democrat, you're this, you're that, you're that. No, we're Americans. And America is a big fucking pot mixed with a bunch of shit, super Mickey gumbo, whatever the hell you want to fucking call it, right? That's what America is. And America, I don't know, back in the day, people used to roll up their sleeves and get shit done. And that, and I see his point when he's telling them that they need to get shit done. And I agree with him on that one. Like I said, it was a great move going over there. But I hope, and this is me hoping, and I hope that he honors his word and he actually sends help. But he actually said, oh, they can do it. Pretty much you leaving a bunch of people to defend for themselves. And you're trying to say, oh, they need permits, they need this. Now, I believe waiting permits is smart, but we need people to know what they're doing. We're going to need engineers. We're going to need carpenters. We're going to be laborers. We're going to need electricians. We're going to need plumbers. We're going to need operators. We're going to need dumps. We're going to need every goddamn lot should have a dump put right in front of them. And then they should have, every block should be divided, and operators should go up there and clean all that shit up. Because let's be honest, California's fucking huge. You know what I mean? And that shit needs to get solved, because, and I know for a fact that a lot of money's gonna get thrown over there. And my concern is all that money's not gonna get used for what it needs to get used. That's why I said that shit gotta go through a fine comb. I wanna know what I'm paying for. When my taxes go, because that's what's gonna go and pay for them, right? I wanna know that my taxes are going to the person that knows what they're doing. They're going to be efficient, do it correctly, and we don't have to go visit that shit back again and waste more money. I also don't want a lot of people just pocketing their money just to write up a fucking contract and have another person sign it, so they can write a contract and have another person sign it, and they can write a contract and have another person sign it, and then that person actually ends up getting pennies to the dollar. And while 3 or 4 people end up lining their pockets, and next thing you know, there's not going to be enough money to build everything. That's my concern. Sorry about that, I'm doing laundry. So that is a big point that I want to make. And that goes for North Carolina and LA. But LA concerns me more just because I walked through LA before. I've been there a few times. And let's just say people over there are fucking nuts. Not the people who live there, but most of the people that run that shit. And then that's another thing too. I felt like if you believe that, this is the time, like, you're supposed to hold yourself with more integrity, more professionalized. He was over there pointing fingers and saying, oh, this or that, and then he kept bringing up Biden. I don't give a shit about Biden. He's gone. Forget that motherfucker. He's gone. You don't need to compare them anymore. You're not on an election anymore. Stop that shit. Just get the fucking job done. Shut the fuck up. Get the shit done. Let's get going. Come on. Same thing with the governor and mayors and all that. Y'all need to come together. And I know that's what they kind of did. They kind of portrayed it. But then again, it was a lot of cutoff and not letting people speak and so forth or whatever, right? One thing that does concern me, and this was for LA, California, is what they're saying about the regulations about trees and cutting down and so forth. Now, some of those regulations, I believe, some of those are fucking outrageous. But guess what? Trees actually prevent forest fires. Because the more trees we have, the more moisture it can trap. And the more moisture it can trap, the less dryness it can be. Not just that, trees are awesome to block wind. And I don't know if you know a little bit about science, but you need oxygen and wind to create a fire. So like if you ever had to start a fire and it's smoking, you fucking blow some air on that motherfucker and boom, the flame starts, right? So to just have people go out there and fucking willy-nilly start cutting shit down, that's not gonna fly. You're gonna make shit worse, and there's gonna be people that are gonna take advantage of the situation, especially those motherfuckers that got money. They're gonna go over there and they're gonna start clearing fucking forests down and say, oh no, they were all dry. And then they're gonna go start selling wood and everything and to the mills, and there's gonna be a lot of shit going on. A lot of back doors, a lot of under the table contracts. Who the fuck's gonna regulate that? That is another concern I have, and they're gonna make it worse. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that push the envelope too much too. Like, oh, you guys are gonna destroy more habitats. Well, no. This is what they need to do. They need to get all the rotten, all the dead shit out of there. And none of that shit has value, by the way. Maybe the bottom of a stump for a table. That's about it. The shit that's already crumbling. If there's water moisture coming into that tree and it has leaves, don't cut it down. Unless you have a permit for it, and then that's on you. But another thing is, we're going to cut all that shit, right? Are we going to plant shit? Because we're going to need them. Once again, plants trap moisture. And that's what they need. They need moisture and they need to block those winds. And that's what trees are going to do. So I don't know how they're going to do that one, but that's another concern that I have. If you guys have any ideas or opinions, please put them down in the comments. But my point is, your job, Mr. President, is to help everyone out. If they voted for you, if they didn't. And I hope you keep your word. And I also hope everyone that knows how to wear a tool belt and has any experience. And I kind of asked my wife today. Yeah, she's the boss. I ain't gonna lie, she's the boss. You know, I asked my wife today, what if I go to California and help them out there? I live in Illinois, by the way. She's kind of on the fence on it. But I think this is where we got to come together. This is where all these union guys, carpentry union, labor union, plumber union, operator unions, they get a lot of government funding. And I think it's a good time to fill some fucking buses and take them over there. Not just to LA, also to South Carolina. And we got to fucking roll up our fucking sleeves and show them what fucking blue collar American can do. That's what we need to do. And guess what? The government needs to start cutting some checks and have it all accounted for per hour, per this, per that, and make sure everything's regulated. And this shit needs to get done by like next week. Operators and dumps should be up there right now. Professionals with respirators should learn how to bag shit, start learning how to take all the contaminants out. We need to start moving. Instead of just saying, hey, you guys go in your own lot. I need you guys to clean that shit up by noon. That's practically what he said. But, once again, that's just my opinion. It's not facts. And if you guys feel the same way, let me know. If you guys feel contrary to me, definitely let me know. Give me your point. That's the whole point of this channel, is I'm trying to look for the truth. And this is my truth. and you have your truth, and I want to hear it. All right, guys. Until next time, for looking up. It's like, for next time, let's look for the truth, and let's hope for the best, and let's make America the way it should be. I'm not gonna say let's make America great again, because it's been a long time since it was great. It was great when I was a kid. Maybe that was the illusion. It don't seem great no more, and it makes me sad. We all need to come together and put our pride aside and stop letting all this division separate us and hate each other, because we're all the same, man. We're Americans. And I am going to make another video. I got an idea about this deportation, and hopefully someone hears me and they try to do something about it, especially you, Rubio. I actually have high hopes for you, brother, but that's for the next one. All right, till next time. It's out.